Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is a look at our market leading stocks for the coming session. This is going to be through the eyes of our proprietary scans. This is going to be for Thursday, January 16th, 2013. Right now in the NASDAQ patch, we don't have a whole lot of signals. We've got a couple on both sides. We don't really have any kind of real dominance. We are just very slightly skewed to the sell side, as you can see, with the sell signals outnumbering the buy signals. A couple deviations to note: entertainment arts is almost 3% below the day's open. BlackBerry's trading the other way. That's having a very strong session. That's about 4.5% above the day's open, and that one also has a VWAP deviation as well. We do have a volume bump in Netflix. Chris sniffed that one out pretty early, and we had a huge winner in Netflix today on the short side. Moving on to the financial page. Financials are more or less paired off, but I would say that the CPSs here probably do get the nod because they are definitely generally a stronger signal than the RPS or the Contras. So we're going to give this a little bit of a bias to the buy side. There's definitely a good deal of volume today in a lot of the issues. You can see the volume there. There's a couple deviations outside that. JP Morgan's about 3% above the day's open, having a real strong day. ICE, just the opposite, down 3.5% from the open, so that's going to be posting a real bearish candle on the daily chart. Moving on to the energy names, Arch ACI has an upside CPS and the open-close deviation. That one's real strong. And we've got volume bumps in PBR and also Valero. Moving on to the generals, a little bit to the sell side here, but it's not particularly one-sided, but definitely a little bit to the sell side. Number of volume deviations here. As far as the VWAP goes, VWAP deviation, we're seeing one in Best Buy. Nothing else is really moving that far away from the VWAP, and nothing's qualifying for an open-close deviation, but Comcast is pretty close, as is Caterpillar. Moving on to the housing names, a little bit of weakness here. Lowe's, more than 1% below the day's open. NVR posting a downside RPS signal. That one's 1.5% above the day's open. As far as the transportation names go, Dryerships is moving around pretty well, and that one's got an upside CPS, but that one's on light volume. We are seeing some above average volume in CSX, but that one does not have a signal with it. Finally, here are the commodities. Not too much as far as signals go here. We do have a couple of volume bumps that might be worth noting. U.S. steel is notably weak. That one's 1.5% below the day's open, but some of these agricultural names that we talked about last evening are following through pretty nicely today. Potash is 1.5% above the day's open on a pretty good increase in volume. Mosaic, okay day, but not nearly as strong as Potash today. And Monsanto is just kind of lackadaisical today. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.